Okay, in this video, I'm going to go over how to solve proportions using two different methods. First, I'm going to talk about how to cross multiply, and then I'm going to talk about how to use an equation for a proportion to solve for an unknown. So let's start with the first example. Gianna has to pay $30 in taxes for every $100 that she earns. Last summer, she earned $3,680. How much does she pay in taxes? So the two things I'm comparing in this problem is how much she pays in taxes and how much money she earns. So my key might be something like taxes and earns. Now your key might say earns and taxes instead of taxes then earns. And that's okay, as long as you're consistent throughout. So now I'm going to set up two fractions that are equivalent to each other. And in my first fraction, I'm going to use the pair of information I was already given. She pays $30 in taxes. Taxes, 30. For every $100 she makes, she earns $100. Now, my next fraction, I'm not going to have both pieces of information. Last summer, she earned $3,680. Earned $3,680. How much did she pay in taxes? I don't know this, so I'm going to put an X there because that is an unknown. And I can solve this using cross multiplication. Cross multiplication states that if two fractions are equal, then their cross products are also going to be equal. So 100 times x is 100 times x. 3,680 times 30 is my other product. And now I'm going to start solving my cross multiplication. So I still have 100 times x here. And over on this side, I'm going to multiply and get this product. Now, since x is being multiplied by 100, to solve for x, I have to do the inverse of multiplication. So since x is being multiplied by 100, I have to divide by 100. And I have to divide this side by 100 as well. 100 divided by 100 is just 1. So on this side, I'm left with 1x, or just x. And then if I divide by 100, I really just need to take the decimal point here and move it 2 spaces to the left. And I get $1,104. Okay, I'll do another example using cross multiplication. Troy can mow 1/8 of any lawn in 3 minutes. How long would it take for Troy to mow 4 lawns? So the two things I'm comparing here is the portion of lawns that Troy can mow and how many minutes it takes. So for my key, maybe I'd put lawn on top and I'd put minutes on the bottom. Now I'm going to set up two equivalent fractions and solve by cross multiplication. So Troy can mow 1/8 of a lawn in 3 minutes. How long would it take for Troy to mow 4 lawns? So I look where the lawns are, and that's where my 4 is going to go. Now I don't know how long it's going to take. So that's where I'm going to put my variable. And I can solve using cross multiplication. Cross multiplication states that if you have two fractions that are equal to each other, then their cross products will itself be equal. So I have 1/8 times x equals 4 times 3. 1/8 times x equals 12. Now I could divide both sides by 1/8. But here's a trick. When you're dividing by 1/8, you're really multiplying by the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 1/8? 8/1. So really, look what happens when I multiply by 8/1. I'm left with just 1x. Now I have multiply this side by 8/1, and I get 96. So it takes Troy 96 minutes. Okay, moving on from cross multiplication, now I'm going to show you how to solve for an unknown using the equation for a proportional relationship. Y varies directly with x is telling you that these things are proportional. And y equals 5 when x equals 30. Write an equation that relates x and y. So since I know they're proportional, I know I can use y equals kx, and I just have to find out what k is. And I'm going to use these two pieces of information to find out what k is. So to find k, I need to put y in the sky and do y divided by x. So in this case, y is 5, so I'm going to do 5 divided by 30. I'm going to simplify. And I get 1/6. So my equation is going to be y equals 1/6 x. use the equation to find y when x equals 150. So I have to use this equation. I'm going to be finding y, so y is going to be unknown. And they told me x equals 150. So I have to plug in 150 there. So y equals 1/6 times 150. And 1/6 times 150 is just 25. I would just multiply those two together. All right, I hope this was helpful. Please see me if you have any questions.